Olá! Oi, gente, tudo bem? Hello, everyone! Olá, tudo bom? Welcome to this Q&A. I'm very excited to be here with you today. Let me know if you guys can see me and hear me well. I'm in a place where the internet connection is not the best, so I apologize in advance if my connection falls. I'll try to come back if that happens. But I'll try to stay with you for a few minutes. I hope the connection works well. Tudo bom? I can see Andras, Tomac, tudo bom? Andrew, Steve, tudo bom, gente? Dylan, Margus. So good to be here with you today. I'm here to talk about the new lesson that I published this Tuesday. If you're new to this Q&A, I'm here every Thursday at 12 p.m. New York time. And I'm here to help you with your Portuguese, answer your questions, and also review the lesson that I published on YouTube on Tuesday. Every Tuesday I publish a new lesson, and I always talk a little bit about the lesson in the Q&A. Tudo bom, Steve from California? That's amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm glad to know that. I've been studying English my entire life, so I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you. So guys, before we start talking about the new lesson and answering your questions, I have two very important announcements for you. The first one is that I created a new mini course for you. You probably already have taken my free mini course in pronunciation, right? If you have not, I highly recommend you do. It is a very complete course in Brazilian Portuguese pronunciation, and it is completely free. You find it on my website, speakingbrazilian.com. And I'm just gonna change the connection. I see that my okay, so just come back. Yeah, I see that my connection on Instagram is not doing well. Sorry about that, guys. So I'm gonna start a new live here using just my data. So the most important announcement that I have today is that I created a new mini course. Just 1 second, guys, I'm sorry about that. Connection here is terrible. So let's try again. Okay, trying again. So I created a new mini course to help you with vocabulary to go to Brazil, to travel to Brazil. Okay, I'm back on Instagram. Hello, guys from Instagram. I'm back. Let me see. No, I'm not back. Okay, I'll just focus on YouTube for now. So I created a mini course to help you with vocabulary, expressions, phrases, anything that you need to go to Brazil, to travel to Brazil. So I'm teaching this mini course live next week. So I'll be here on YouTube teaching 5 lessons to help you with your Portuguese if you're planning to go to Brazil. I know that most of you are planning to go to Brazil soon, or you've been to Brazil and you want to come back, or you're dreaming about coming to Brazil. So I created this mini course to help you with that. So the mini course will be next week. The first lesson will be this Sunday, January 24. And I'll teach 5 lessons, and in each lesson I'll help you with different topics. I'll help you with how to how to greet people on the streets, how to ask for directions, how to order food in a restaurant. So we're going to talk about all these main important topics when you're traveling in Brazil. Okay, and most of the lessons will be beginner level, but I'll also have at least one intermediate level class. So if you're interested in learning more about this mini course, I'll be publishing this afternoon the course. You'll be able to sign up. It is a free course, but to have access to the material, you have to sign up. You have to go to my website, speakingbrazilian.com, and click on the name of the course is Viajando ao Brasil, Traveling to Brazil. So you have access to a replay of the classes and also the material. If you are on my mailing list, I'll send you more information via email later today. Okay, so I highly recommend, if you like my lessons, if you don't want to miss any of my free courses and lessons, I recommend that you add your name to my newsletter. If you have taken any of my courses, you are already on my newsletter. So if you're not in my newsletter yet, just go to my website, speakingbrazilian.com, so you receive more information about this. Okay, so I'll send an email later today to all my list with all the information about this mini course. So I hope I'll see you starting this Sunday. Five classes, 5 lessons will be like on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then again Saturday is Sunday, so 5 lessons on how to speak with Brazilians when you are traveling in Brazil. Okay, I'm very excited about this mini course. I hope you join me, and it's completely free. And the other important announcement that I have for you is the new lessons, the new classes that are starting next February. So if you guys follow me for a while, you know that I don't offer courses all the time because I work with a very small team. So I open new classes every 3 months. This is the first class of this year. I'm very excited about it. So classes start in the first week of February, and enrollment will be open next week. For 1 week, you can sign up. I have 3 main courses: a beginner level course, a pre-intermediate course, and also the Speaking Brazilian Academy, which is recommended for intermediate and advanced students who want to practice Portuguese. So if you want to learn more, go to my website and click on the courses to read a little bit about them and learn more. Okay guys, so these are the announcements. I hope you join me next week in this mini course. And if you really want to learn Portuguese with me, take a look at the courses that I offer and add your name to the waiting list to receive more information. Okay? The connection is good. I'm so sorry about the connection, guys. I tried to go live on Instagram. It didn't work. So I'm here. Yeah, it shows that my connection is good. Steve, my connection is not good? Okay, so I have one question here from Ana. Tudo bom, Ana? Will the schedule for the new classes be the same? The one posted on your website is for the courses ending in January, and I was wondering if it will change. So the schedule will be mostly the same. I might add more classes depending on the number of the students. So if the classes get full, I will open more options, more classes, okay, more times, because all the classes are small. I have 8 to 10 students per class. So if the classes get too full, I'll open more times, more options. If the schedule doesn't work for you, you can also suggest a new schedule, and I'll see if that it is possible to open a new schedule, a new class. Okay, Ana? Muito bom, very good question. I have to update the website page with the dates. I did not do that yet. Muito bom. Looking for more questions, guys. If you have questions, now it is the time to ask the questions. It is hard for me to read all your comments, so if I don't see your question, you can just post your question again, publish, copy and paste your question again so I can see it, okay? So Christopher is saying, você fala muito bem inglês. Obrigada, Christopher. How much are the lessons? Well, it depends. Each course has a different price and different options. You can choose to have just the recorded lessons, then it is one price. You can choose to have live classes via Zoom with the teachers, then it is a different price. I recommend you go to my website and click and to see the prices. So the beginner's course, the beginning price is starting price is $297. The pre-intermediate is $247. The starting price, and the Speaking Brazilian Academy is $35 because it is a membership. You pay every month if you want to continue. So these are one of the prices, but you have to check. When you sign up, you'll see many options, okay? Muito bom. So more questions, guys. So the Traveling to Brazil course, what time we'll be having the sessions? So all lessons will be at 12 p.m. New York time, so the same time. So next Thursday, instead of having the regular Q&A that we have every Thursday, we will have the lesson of that day. So 12 p.m. New York time. The lessons will be on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday and Sunday again. Okay, 5 lessons. Very good question, Andrew. Okay, looking for more questions, guys. Muito bom. Tens uma conta no LinkedIn? Yes, I'm not very active on LinkedIn, but I do have an account there. I published some blog posts there a while ago, but then I stopped. There are so many things to do on social media, so I focus on YouTube. But I do have a LinkedIn account. You can add me as a friend there if you want, and also an Instagram account where I publish lessons and also some tips. So I recommend you follow me on Instagram and also LinkedIn. Muito bom. Marius, can we already sign up for the course next week? Yes. So later today, if you are in my mailing list, you receive an email to sign up for the free course, the Viajando ao Brasil, the traveling course, and to sign up for the classes, the beginner course, the intermediate course. Enrollment will start this Sunday. Okay, Sunday 24th, I will open enrollment for the new classes that start in February. Okay? Muito bom. More questions, guys? Excelente. I'm looking for your questions. So Marcia, why all language learning community is selling something? You know, this is my main job. I don't do anything else for a living. I'm a teacher. I teach full-time. So I offer a lot of material for free. If you are a very organized person, you can learn a lot using my free material. I have almost 200 videos available on YouTube. I always have these live classes that I make myself available to help you, but I do need to sell courses because if I don't do that, I won't be able to pay my rent. So, and the paid courses, they offer more, right? So if you want to have regular classes via Zoom with a teacher to help you with your pronunciation, to really help you with the details and to guide you and to answer all your questions in small groups, then I recommend the paid courses, okay? But if you don't have the money, you can also study by yourself using the free material, okay? So that's really what works for you, and it really depends on what works for you, what are your needs, and what you want, right? So you have many options. You can study for free, or you can join one of the paid courses. If you really want to learn Portuguese at a faster pace, the paid courses are much better. Muito bom. Okay, looking for more questions, guys. Any chance to see? Oh, first time hearing in English. Any chance to see the professor? Oh, you're talking about Professor De Rose, maybe? Yeah, he's really funny. You'll find he has a YouTube channel. I think it is called The Rose Method. If you want to see more of him, he doesn't teach Portuguese. He teaches his method, which is meditation and other. He talks about philosophy and many other things, but his Portuguese is very good. That's why I invited him to talk about Portuguese in my channel. He is really funny, so you should check his YouTube channel. Is The Rose Method, I guess, the name of his YouTube channel. Muito bom. So Virginia, is the YouTube club still open? Yes. So I created this YouTube club to offer you access to the transcript of all my videos, the recorded videos, right? Not the live ones. It is still open. You can sign up on my website, speakingbrazilian.com, and you have access to the videos organized in the order that I recommend that you watch them, and also you have access to the transcript and translation of each video. So if you like to study by yourself using my YouTube videos, this is a very good program for you. And I prioritize, I read all your comments in that page, and I also give you options to suggest new videos. So it is a very cool thing if you use my YouTube channel to learn Portuguese. Muito bom. Question about pronunciation. How do you pronounce G? I always get confused with this pronunciation. I recommend you do my mini course in pronunciation and talk about this in the mini course. So G, it really depends on the accent. You can pronounce the preposition G in many different ways. You can say de, or G, or D, depends. I always say G. But this syllable, DE, can be pronounced in different ways depending on where it is placed in a word. The word G by itself, the most common pronunciation is G. But if it is a word like dentista, which means dentist, dentista. So in this case, the DE at the beginning sounds like de. It is a nasal sound because of the N, dentista. So it really depends where it's placed. Okay, so check my YouTube, my free course in pronunciation. I talk a little bit more about how to pronounce the D, and also the E at the end of words usually sounds like E, not E, but also varies a lot depending on the accent. Okay? Muito bom, guys. Looking for more questions. Could you please explain how to properly use a beça in a sentence? I love this question. A beça. A beça means a lot. It means it is very informal, okay? So you could say, if you want to say I ate a lot, you could say eu comi a beça. It means a lot. It is very informal. I usually don't use this expression, but I heard it a lot. A beça means a lot. I don't know where it comes from. I'm not now asking myself. A beça means a lot, so you can just replace the word muito with a beça, but it usually comes at the end of the sentence, right? So after the verb, right? So if you want to give intensity to the verb, you place it after the verb. Eu comi muito, eu comi a beça. Eu caminhei muito, I walked a lot. Eu caminhei a beça, I walked a lot, okay? Muito bom, looking for more questions, guys. O que tu achas sobre o sotaque português? Eu adoro, I love accents. In Brazil, you'll find so many different accents, and also in Portugal, there are many different accents in Portugal, but it is very easy to recognize an accent from Brazil and Portugal once you get used to it. I think it is, you know, accents are show personality, so I think it is important. I love Portugal, and I have many good friends from there, so the accent from Portugal sounds beautiful to me. It's mostly a matter of preference. If you're wondering, should I learn Brazilian Portuguese or European Portuguese, it really depends on what you want, your preference. The language is the same. You can talk, if you learn Brazilian Portuguese, you can talk, communicate if you go to Portugal, and vice versa. The language is the same, the accent, it is indeed different, so sometimes it can take you a while to get used to the accent and understand it well, but the language is the same, okay? So minor differences in vocabulary and grammar, but mostly the same. It's like American English and British English, right? Very good question. So, any advice on handling sotaques? I would say that when you're learning a language, I would not worry about that, about like learning an accent. I'm not sure if that's your question. I would not worry about that because when you're learning a language, there is so much to think about, so much to learn. So when I study languages, I really don't care about the accent because you will have your own accent, which is a mixture of your own native language and the language that you're learning. You usually get a little bit the accent of a teacher and your friends, if you have friends from that place. So I recommend you don't worry about it. But if you're worried about understanding different accents, what helps a lot is to listen to different people speaking in that language, right? So radios help a lot. You can listen to Brazilian radios, Brazilian podcasts. The more you listen, the more you get used to different accents and different people speaking at different paces. Okay, so in the beginning, my students, they get very used to me, and when I speak Portuguese, I speak at a slower pace because I'm a teacher. I speak very clearly. But then when they listen to other people, they are, oh my God, I don't understand. That's completely normal. So they need to start listening to other people to get used to different accents and also different paces, right? So the more you listen, the easier it gets. But I really recommend that you don't worry about learning an accent because it doesn't make any sense. The language is the language. It doesn't matter the accent that you have. You will have your own accent that will come to you naturally. Muito bom. About Sintonia, I have not watched Sintonia yet. I just recommended in my video because I did some research and I've heard it is really good. So I think it is good and I really want to watch it. I saw the trailer and it looks really good. Muito bom. So is there a way to make myself feel more motivation or faster to achieve the goal of learning the languages? I always watched your video, you're a good teacher. Muito bom, Mizaki. So motivation is something that must come from inside. One thing that helps with motivation is to study with someone, because sometimes studying by yourself, it can be really, you can get discouraged. It's hard to find motivation. So I think that joining a course, it helps you with your motivation, because then you have to meet your teacher, you have to see your colleagues. So that helps you with motivation. Another thing that could help you is to have a language partner. You can maybe exchange it. It depends on your level. If you're a beginner, it's harder to have a language partner, but if you are intermediate level, you can have a language partner to practice Portuguese with. I think it is important to study with someone, right? A teacher, a group of people that will help you with motivation. And of course, other things that could help you are if you are planning to travel to Brazil. That is a big motivation, right? So I have that a lot. If I'm planning to go to another country, I get very motivated to learn the language at least a little bit, because I want to get there and I want to speak the language. So that's one of the best motivations. Other motivations come from understanding music, songs, understanding books. So you should find something that you really like, that you really want to do using Portuguese, and then try to motivate yourself to achieve that goal. I hope that helps, Mizaki. Very good, guys. Looking for more questions. So so you know how to introduce yourself, but not for interview. Yeah, that is more complicated. So for interview purpose, you should have a more advanced level. I don't have any lesson on that topic, but I'm planning to prepare videos about that, because many people have asked me to help them with interviews in Portuguese. So that's a good suggestion. I'm going to think about creating more content for you guys on that topic. Muito bom. Looking for more questions, guys. So this is an interesting grammar question. The verbs ir and ser are conjugated in the same way, and the pretérito perfeito. Are there any more examples of verbs that have the same conjugations? That's very interesting, and it is funny. Why? I don't understand why verbs ser and ir are exactly the same in pretérito perfeito. They're also the same in subjunctive tense, and future subjunctive and imperfect subjunctive. They're also the same, so it can be very confusing. Of course, you know the meaning by the context. I cannot think of other verbs that have the same problem, that look a lot. The verbs ver and vir, sometimes they look a lot, because the verb ver in future subjunctive tense, it is vir, so that can be confusing as well. But I think these are the only examples that I can think of verbs that are too similar. They're mostly the same in different conjugations. Don't worry about that. You know which verb to use in the context, right? It's just a funny thing about Portuguese, that these verbs are conjugated exactly the same in a couple of tenses. Muito bom. Looking for more questions, guys. Oh, this is a good pronunciation question. How do you pronounce the letter R? Because I've heard some words it's silent and some make the H sound. Well, the R is I think it is the letter in Portuguese that varies the most according to the accent. So the way that I teach you is not the way that everyone speaks, okay? So it really varies a lot from place to place, and really varies a lot from where it is placed in the word. Okay, so the letter R at the end of syllables It can have at least 3 different pronunciations. It can sound like the American H. I'm gonna give you one word, falar. Okay, the verb falar. Falar means to speak. It has the R at the end. So falar. So this is the most common pronunciation in Rio de Janeiro and also some places in the north and northeast. Falar. Falar. Sometimes it sounds mute because we speak fast. Eu vou falar com ela. I'm going to speak with her. When I speak fast, the R sounds inaudible. You cannot hear it. It is there, but when I speak fast, you cannot hear it. So, eu vou falar com ela. I'm going to speak with her. But if I speak slowly, I'm going to say, eu vou falar com ela. Okay, so it sounds like this American H sound. And other pronunciations of the same word. Falar, falar. So this R, the fricative R, it is more common in São Paulo and southeast and south of Brazil. Falar, falar. It's very fast. I'm exaggerating a little bit to show you, but usually we speak faster, right? Falar, falar. Eu vou falar com ela. And the other pronunciation that you find in small cities in the state of São Paulo and Paraná is falar. And also other places in Brazil, the Midwest of Brazil. Falar. Sounds like the American R. Falar. Eu vou falar com ela. Okay, so these 3 pronunciations are correct. They are very common. So here you can see how there are so many variations in Brazil. I talk about this and other details about the R pronunciation, the pronunciation of the letter R in Portuguese in my mini course. It is a free mini course. You find it on my website, okay, speakingbrazilian.com. I recommend you take this course. Okay, so when it's at the beginning of the word or if there is a double R, oh, yes, so you're answering his question, right? So it sounds like an H at the beginning of a word, and also when you see the double R, it also sounds like an American H, right? Like in the word rapaz. Rapaz means boy. Rapaz. Muito bom. Very good questions, guys. Looking for more questions. So, okay. So, como você viaja para o Brasil se voar para os Estados Unidos está fechado ou não? So, I'm a permanent resident in the United States, so I am allowed to travel back to the US whenever I want, as far as I know. So, my residency is in the US. I'm just visiting Brazil to see family, and I'm going back to the US at the end of the month. And actually I heard that it just opened to all Brazilians to go back to travel to the US. It's something new. I don't know if that is true or if that is gonna continue like that for a while, but I heard that it is open to Brazilians as well, to all Brazilians, not only residents, to go to the US. So don't worry, I'm not stuck here or anywhere. I was very careful. I did a lot of research before traveling, and I did a lot of social distancing, so don't worry. Muito bom. Como pronunciar? My nickname is Ratan. How this can be pronounced? I would say Ratan. I think most Brazilians would say Ratan. Ratan. Muito bom. So the pronunciation of the word carro. 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 So the double R sounds like H. There are some different accents in some places. Some people would say carro, but this is not very common. The most common is carro. Carro. Very good. Looking for more questions, guys. Muito bom. Okay, so if you have questions, just copy and paste again at the end, because it is hard for me to go back and read all your comments. Is it possible to learn Portuguese speaking but not in terms of writing? You mean just speaking, not writing at all? Yes, it is. It is completely possible. You know that when I learned French, I still have a really hard time writing French because I only practice speaking. I never wrote much until I went to college. Then in college I had to write a lot in French. but it is easier for me to speak than to write. It is natural to learn speaking and not writing, because writing is the last skill that you're going to learn. Okay, so you have to learn 4 skills when you're learning a language. You have the first one is to listen, so listening, reading, speaking, and writing. So 2 things to put the language in, and 2 that you have to produce and put it out, right? So listening and reading, you're just bringing things in, and then speaking and writing, you are creating the language yourself. So I recommend you focus on listening, and reading also helps a lot. And then speaking, you don't have to write if you don't want. Of course, it also helps you to learn the language. If you learn the 4 skills, you'll be a better level of the language, but it is not necessary. You can speak Portuguese really well even if you don't write it. So you can run away with all the accents rules, because writing in Portuguese is a little bit tricky with all the accents. Very good questions, guys. I'm really happy that my connection seems to be working. I have one question about an audiobook. Você poderia recomendar audiolivro em português para poder estudar o meu tempo livre? Well, I cannot think of an audiobook. You really have to think about authors that you like. I'm not sure. I use Audible, and you don't find any Brazilian audiobooks in that on Audible, unfortunately, only in English and other languages. So, but the authors that I recommend, it depends on the level of each person. I'm publishing a video, not next week, but the next week, about giving you a lot of book recommendations, and then you can try to look for the audiobooks. One audiobook that I really like, authors that I really like are Machado de Assis. It is a little bit advanced. Clarice Lispector, also advanced. Cecilia Meirelles, it depends. She has some children books that are less advanced, and she also writes poems. Other authors. For beginner level, I recommend Rubem Alves. Rubem Alves is beginner, intermediate level, not exactly beginner level. So I recommend, I'm not sure where you can find Brazilian audiobooks if you don't live in Brazil. I would have to do some research on that. So wait for my video. In 2 weeks, I'm publishing this video with a lot of tips on Brazilian books and where to find them, and where to and how to use them to study Portuguese. But if you want to listen in Portuguese, I highly recommend podcasts. Podcasts that I like, I have my podcast, Speaking Brazilian Podcast. It is good for beginners because I speak at a slow pace. I recommend Café Brasil podcast for intermediate level students. It is really good, and you can read the transcript of the podcast on their website. And I recommend Brazilian radio. There is a CBN, it's very good. There is a program that I love in Portuguese. It is called Língua Nossa de Todo Dia. It is with a professor called Professor Pasquale. A língua nossa de todo dia, like our language of every day. It is amazing, amazing podcast, advanced level. Okay, guys, I think I'm talking too much. Looking for another one last question before we finish this Q&A. A question about cão and cachorro, right? So cão and cachorro, they have the same meaning. In Brazil, we use cachorro more. In Portugal, they use cão more. So cão, cachorro, same meaning. In Brazil, we usually say cachorro, cachorra for a girl. And in Portugal, it's cão. Okay. Okay, guys, amazing questions. Muito bom, pessoal. I think that's it for today. I answered so many questions. Thank you for joining me today. I hope this was useful for you. And don't forget the 2 announcements that I gave in the beginning. I'm just going to repeat in case you missed it. I'm teaching a free course next week. It is a mini course. It's just 5 lessons. And I'm going to teach you and help you prepare to travel into Brazil. So I'll teach you many lessons on how to ask for directions, how to greet people, how to ask for food in restaurants, and all these details that you need to prepare yourself when you are planning to travel to Brazil. So next week, starting this Sunday, and if you are on my mailing list, you will receive an email about that soon. Today, if you're not on my mailing list, just go to my website and add your name to my newsletter so you receive my emails, so you don't miss my courses and free courses and lessons that I'm publishing every day. Okay, so in this mini course, you have access to my 5 live lessons. I'll teach these courses live on YouTube, but to have access to the material you have to sign up. It is free, but you have to sign up via my website to have access to the material. Okay, and the second announcement is about my new classes. If you want to learn Portuguese with me, having classes every week with a teacher via Zoom in small groups, my next classes start in February, and enrollment will be open from January 24 to 31st, 1 week. So starting this Sunday, you can sign up for my courses. If you have any questions about my courses, feel free to email me. And if you are on my mailing list, I'll also be sending more information about that soon. Okay, guys, it was amazing to spend some time with you today. I'll be here again. I'll be teaching the course next week, so I'll be here a lot next week on YouTube. I hope I'll see you. Beijo grande. Tchau, tchau. Boa quinta-feira e bom fim de semana para vocês.